Brian, would you like to read the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay.
Jenny David.
Here.
Roger Mayhew.
Yes.
Charles Wiltie.
Present.
Mark Serber.
Here.
Craig Scott.
Here.
Any additions or corrections, commissioners?
I have none.
Greg, aren't we gonna talk parks, RV park?
I don't think we have any action to take,
Oh, okay.
do we?
A moving of a GL code creation.
Oh, okay. All right, then we have, discussion on Parks and Rec. The
New business.
new business, yeah,
So let's do
just above claims there.
that. RV park?
Yeah.
Anything else?
I have one. Apologies. Came to our attention. We need to talk about the secondary road patrol for the financial officer who gets added.
Where would you like that?
New business, please.
So. Let's make that E, secondary road patrol.
It's a continuation grant and we just need to find who we add the second signer.
Grant, right? Any other additions or corrections?
Nope, I'll make a motion to approve the agenda with corrections or additions.
Motion. Commissioner Scott, support from Commissioner Serbrook. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 3, declarations of conflicts of interest. Any commissioners?
Nope.
Item 4, review of minutes. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Review of minutes, July 23rd, 2026, regular meeting minutes.
I've reviewed the minutes. Make motion, we approve them.
Motion from Commissioner Wiltie,
Support.
support from Commissioner Mayhew. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Item 4B, August 6th, committee of the whole meeting minutes.
Motion to accept the minutes as presented.
Motion Commissioner Scott,
Support.
support from Commissioner Serbrook. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item 5, public comment and agenda on item manners only. Any public comment? Any public comment in the room? Any public comment on the phone? Correspondence, we received correspondence from Ogemaw County zoning correspondence for the moratorium. A copy of that was on our iPads. Ryan, is there anything you want to say? This has been received and filed. There's a public hearing that we are holding at the zoning meeting, which is August
26th, Wednesday, August 26th at 6 p.m. looking at it.
Is there anything you want to say about it?
Just to inform everyone that's out there, and it seems like there's been a little bit of confusion on Facebook what a moratorium is. It seems like a few of our residents had cleared that up for a lot of people, but just if anyone confronts you about it, it's literally to kind of stop the permitting and those renewable energy projects, solar, wind, battery storage, data center.
It's just all of them,
Yeah,
is all. But it's gonna go to zoning August 20.
Sir David, can he come up? Because they can't hear him.
It's gonna be August 26th, and then we will be here the following week for the commissioners have the final vote on it.
Correct. So if it passes at the Wednesday, August 26th meeting, then it will come before the commissioners. I believe the next week exactly at your committee of the whole meeting.
Question.
Go ahead.
That's a 1-year moratorium is what I read.
1-year moratorium, yes. There is language in there to extend that moratorium longer if need be, but I think it's something we should be able to done any.
Since we talked about it, there's been quite a few more in this entire state.
Yes. There are a lot of communities that are not only for these solar, wind and energy battery storage projects, but specifically data centers.
Want to come on that, guys. We'll be seeing it soon. Thanks, Ryan. Item 7, consent agenda, excuse me, resolution authorizing transfer of remaining funds through 301 ORV balance to the general fund.
I don't have any problem passing it. I'll make the motion to consent the entire consent agenda.
Support.
Motion from Commissioner Scott, support from Commissioner Serbuk. We talked about this. This is a recommendation from our treasurer, Nicole. Any questions, guys?
Oh,
And the total amount of that was
2,000.
246.95.
200.
2,246.95.
Roll call vote.
Roger Mayhew,
Yeah.
Charles Wiltie,
Yes.
Mark Serbrook,
Yes.
Craig Scott,
yes.
Jenny David.
Yes. Thank you, Nicole. New business, Ron Peckno bailiff coordinator interview. Ron? Hi, how are you? So I guess I'm gonna open this up for discussion. I had a conversation with Francine. I've also talked to a couple of the other commissioners briefly about this. I think we all know that you have a history here. You've been here for quite some time. You've already went through one interview with Francine, I guess, versus going through all the questions that we went through last week. Can you tell us a little bit briefly about yourself, how long you've been here and your experience?
6 years, 8 months, or 13 days.
One more time, so
That's close.
6 years, 8 months, 13 days.
for the county?
January 1st of 2020. Well, no, not with the county. With the county, I hired in 8/15 of 06
Okay,
in the jail. Worked in the jail 8 years corrections, 4 years as a corporal. Retired in 18, July 1st of 18. Wanted to see what was out there, do something else. Come back to the county, I came to the county building January 1st of 2020 and went back to the jail June 1st of 2020 because Lieutenant Ogier was looking for transport folks. That's something I enjoyed doing, so I went back.
yep, so right now you're doing
Both,
transport and, okay.
correct.
So you came since our last meeting and applied for the position, which
I
we
did.
appreciate. So you're interested in the bailiff coordinator position,
I am,
okay? You looked at the job description, what it all entails, duties, and you're on board.
I am.
Okay, I think we all know you. I think we are comfortable with that. As any commissioners, I'm opening up for any commissioners that have any questions for him.
I have nothing. I have spoke with the administrator and I'm going with her recommendation.
Commissioner Wiltie,
No, I have no questions.
Commissioner Serbrook.
I've known Ron since the day he hired him with the county, his first time around, and I am very happy that he applied. And I would defer to the county administrator's decision, so I have absolutely no problem with Ron.
As far as I know, he's been doing the work anyways.
Part of it, part of it, I know.
Specifically the scheduling, correct?
Yes,
That's been your main,
since January 1st.
right, thank you.
Francine.
So moving forward, as we're restructuring the bailiffs, and there's been plenty of conversations for that, we've had several conversations, I think probably seven in the last couple of days.
I don't count.
But looking in that, it's gonna be a dual effort on how we can improve, with having hired someone else for 3 days. This bailiff's coordinator position will be a 3-day position, so we have some consistencies. Ron has already brought to me about some policies that needed to be updated. Some things I'll be sharing in my updates that we're already moving actively on to grow the team the best they can, and responsible for the training. And we already have several dates are scheduled for our bailiff team. So it's very exciting to see the growth and certification that we will have.
Questions for us?
No.
Welcome aboard, I believe. But
Well,
let's-
I'll make a motion that the county administrator take care of hiring the coordinator.
Support.
Motion Commissioner Scott, support from Commissioner Serbrook. Further discussion? Francine, do you have any questions on that?
I don't. I know what to do from here.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Good.
Welcome aboard, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ron.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Ron. Have a good night. Too.
Item 8B, Sheriff's overtime discussion of budgetary oversight and prospective corrective measures.
This,
Wanna come on up?
yeah, this needs to, be put on the agenda for some current conversations regarding budget coming up and what alternatives that we can do from recently that we were gonna be constructed a strategic plan.
Where are we at with planning, Sheriff?
Well, if I could read something here, I just want to get it out there briefly. Okay.
Yep, so you have the floor.
With our road patrol operations, working solely with the road millage, I have some examples what we're up against. Within the last 5 years, cost has risen and having to work with minimum staffing, making it more difficult to maintain 24-hour coverage. Taking in consideration the safety of the road patrol officers and the general public, it is recommended by the sheriff's office to have a minimum of 2 road deputies working the same shift to maintain backup for the safety of the deputies and the welfare of the citizens of Ogemaw County. Examples of some extra accumulated cost relating to the road patrol. Since it started the millage back in 2020 to 21, this is the extra cost that we're up against. Wages for the deputies has increased $107,827.25. This is just base pay. That's increased $107,000 since the beginning of this millage. Health insurance for the road deputies increased $69,854.50. That's an increase for 5.5 years. Body camera annual fees was $9,768. Fleet insurance from the 5.5 years, the increase of that is $37,900. Increased cost of the operation. So that comes right out of the millage money, which reduces our money, our operating money. This is what I'm proposing. In order to eliminate the majority of the overtime, I would suggest that we hire 2 deputies working from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., working the A and B rotation, utilizing them for paid overtime, PTO, for the officers that are going to be off, the short days, and eliminate the scheduled overtime, the 4-hour block. Eliminating that, if we had the 2 deputies, we could fill them in and we can use them wherever we need to do to plug the holes. The elements that surround the problem we had with this overtime is 24-hour coverage. We're trying to maintain that. Minimum staffing, which is very hard to do without the bodies. And then the biggest thing is officer safety. And that goes into effect with the citizens also. With the road patrol millage money alone, we cannot sustain 24-hour coverage with the staffing levels that we have now without paying overtime to fulfill the shifts as needed for the safety of our officers. In summary, we don't have enough money to maintain 24-hour coverage without subsidizing the general fund. That's where we're at. We're running out of money. We don't have enough money. And that was said at a meeting many months ago with the administrator that was just setting in. There isn't enough money to sustain our coverage. That's where we're at. So we don't have enough money and our staffing levels are down. So you put them both together, we have a problem. So without that general money to subsidize that millage, there's not going to be 24 hours of coverage. There's going to be blocks in the schedule. That's where we're at.
I guess I'm gonna start with a question, because I don't know. I was under the assumption that this summer, with the 2 school resource officers being on the road or,
Yeah.
extra bodies that they're not there once school starts, that was gonna be utilized to plug in. And so throughout the summer months, has there been 24-hour road?
Yes, we sustain them. One is off on, I don't want to get into a lot of medical stuff, but one's on light duty and one is off. But we managed to cover the 24/7. We did that with that extra body coming out of the school. So that was covered.
20, so
To
24 has been covered. There
Yes.
has been
Yes.
out of the, all summer long, 90
Yes.
days.
Coming up next month, we're gonna have a block in it. We're gonna have a hole in it. Because these guys are going back to school. We got one guy off, so there's gonna be holes in the schedule. That's because of the staffing levels.
2 offering now for medical leave?
Yeah.
What you said? Injury or medical leave? You don't need to get into it, just.
Light duty right now in medical leave, so. And that's basically where we're at. We just don't have the staffing levels and the money sustained that would sustain the 24/7. I mean, if you want me completely cut that overtime out, I can do it tonight. No more overtime. But there's going to be huge blocks in our schedule because I have to plug them people in.
Commissioner Scott.
Well, I guess 2 questions. Light duty, I mean, we have a workman's comp claim going on right now. Is this a workplace incident?
No, no.
So
I don't want to.
why are we, wait a minute, I'm not violating HIPAA. I've already checked. Okay? I'm not mentioning names or anything else, but if we're bringing somebody on light duty, I want to know, was there a workplace incident and that we're bringing somebody back on light duty because we don't want to pay comp?
It wasn't.
But it's not. So
not.
why are we bringing somebody on light duty and then who is a doctor told us that this person can work on light duty?
Yes.
Is that report been given to the,
Yes.
to the
I believe so.
administrator?
Did you get that?
I received it Monday, yes,
Okay.
A medical report?
correct.
Okay. I mean, and this person, this employee is within the road patrol? I mean, if they can't be on road patrol, then why are we employing them on light duty? They might as well stay home.
We're utilizing where we need them, and that's what the evidence room, which is another challenge that we're up against. So it actually works out in our favor to have that individual working for us right now so we can get ahead of the game. That's where he's being used.
Well, the other thing, I said right away, I'm on the record saying, do not put 24/7 on the millage so that it did not handcuff the sheriff in case of there was shortages of manpower. And the commission wanted to go with 24/7, and the sheriff also said that he wanted 24/7 on the millage. I don't think it was a great selling point, but if we're not gonna be able to maintain it over the period of the time, I just didn't think we should advertise that. He has said that he cannot maintain with the millage money, then we can't. We can't. So that's fine with me.
We can't what?
We can't do 24/7 with the millage money that we have.
We
You just said that.
We could if you'd subsidize that. with-
Oh, no.
Where it was in the first place.
I'm gonna finish.
My point is, you've already said you cannot provide 24-hour service with the millage money.
Not with just.
That's good enough
Absolutely
with me. That's good enough with me.
Absolutely not. We can't.
So,
So this, I know, Fran had some conversations with you and the undersheriff, and there was some delays in trying to get the meetings together for the strategy regarding this overtime and, you know, how we're gonna move forward with the 2027 budget. So this strategy you're coming to us tonight with, is that a strategy between you and the undersheriff together?
No, this is actually my strategy to you folks tonight. Is that if you allow me to hire 2 deputies, if I put them on the A and B rotation, I work them from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. And then I can move that individual around to make that rotation work without paying scheduled overtime. I want to get away from scheduled overtime. That's the problem where we're at. But that way, that would fill that 4-hour block, and that individual will have adequate backup. That's what I'm looking at. And let me just play a scenario. If I have one person working one rotation and there's a domestic down in Skidway, that individual's down there, his backup is in West Branch, or who knows if the state police is even close. So that 10 minutes for the officer to get there, that it might be too late for the individual. I want to prepare for the worst. That's what this business is to prepare for the worst and hope for the best. I don't want nobody's blood on my hand because I set him out there by himself. I don't want that. When I retire, I want to retire as a clean conscience that I did my best to give my people the adequate backup. That's what I'm after. That's all it is. And in order to do that, I need help subsidized by the general fund. That's all it is. That there just is not, with all this cost going up. And I just scratched the surface on the 4 things that are cost related. I could dig really deep in the woods or in the bushes here and find more. The reason why we don't have the money that we had back in 2021. It's just the cost of doing business is unbelievable. And that's where we're at. We're at a shortfall. We don't have the adequate millage money to run 24/7 right now.
Okay.
With our people.
Okay, so I have a couple more questions. I'd like to get the undersheriff's take on this. Do you agree with this strategy of that the only option at this point in time is to add 2 additional deputies?
Fix the problems for our staffing level coverage for scheduled overtime. Add that flex.
Under Sheriff, can you come up here? Because they can't hear you on TV. I apologize.
They would have that flex for the short days, so that scheduled overtime, the 4 hours, that's addressed as far as holdover, because I think some of it is, we say scheduled, but it's basically holding them over on a day. They're supposed to get off at 2, they stay to 6 to have 2 officers on. So I don't want to get into semantics, it's still, that's the reality of it, to have 2 officers. If you had that afternoon, 1 on each shift, you could cover and get rid of those 4 hours. I understand the premise, and I think that's one way to attack it.
Okay, one more question. So I think we all agree that the safety of our residents is very
Yeah.
important.
Oh, yeah,
There's no doubt about that.
100%.
Like in regards to, I know the sheriff, you've said a number of times in law enforcement meetings, and we're talking about budgets and, the lack of consistent support from the Michigan State Police. So with that being said, and the importance of this, do you and the Michigan State Police, like the commander, that would be the lieutenant over,
Brown, yes.
Lieutenant Brown, do you guys talk like weekly to kind of figure out, okay, we're gonna have 1 state police car in Ogemaw County every day of the week. We're guaranteeing you will have our support. I mean, how often do you talk to him to find that out? Because I'm hearing some things, and again, I don't, you hear stuff, you don't know what to believe, but I'm hearing that, as soon as the state police leave, they're heading east. They're going to Tawas. They're not in Ogemaw County. So if that's the case, I want to know why. Because if somebody's getting arrested, if they're bringing somebody here to the county, we're the ones that are paying for all this. Our state funding is being lost. Every year it's being decreased. So do you have a consistent communication with them to know, are we getting a trooper every day in Ogemaw County? Or can you answer that?
I talk to them frequently. Actually, we're very, very good friends outside of work.
Yeah.
So I talk to them all the time. And when we're down, absolutely, we contact them and say, hey, we're down, kind of listen to your radio. They do that for us. But the problem is the unexpected. What happens if they get called down to Gladwin or Aranac or Iosco for a domestic? I'm just throwing that out there, whatever. It's the unexpected is what frightens me. So I want to make sure I have adequate backup of my own people because I know they'll be there. It's the unexpected is what's very fearful.
Yeah.
Very fearful.
Okay.
And I know you can understand that.
Okay. Thank you.
Scott, did you have something else?
Well, in 2018, we didn't even have night patrol at all. We had no night patrol at all. I mean, it's not like it's not doable. You know, if we didn't have this millage, I would think that the department would be 4 deputies. If that. If that. I mean, 2021, besides the millage, this county was in the hole. And we brought it out of the hole. I'm not gonna take it back there. I want to retire from my job up here as clean too, and I don't want to put it back in the hole again.
I get that.
If you can't do 24/7, you can't do 24/7. I don't have a problem looking at anybody and saying, we don't have enough money to do 24/7. According to the sheriff, he cannot do it.
I can't.
I don't have a problem with that.
I can't tell you that I'm gonna have 24/7 nonstop. I can't do it.
That's fine.
Because there's
I
holes
can live with
be
that.
plugged. In order to maintain that, I need extra money.
I can live
from the
with that.
general fund.
The only thing I would say on another officer, can we do a part-time and cover 28 hours in a week and that cover your overtime? Would that be a possibility? I'm not saying I'll do it, but
I would have to do more research on that idea as far as the contractual and that type of stuff. I mean, a part-time, we have to find somebody that was on-call certified, but
all
we
right.
have to take that idea back to
Well-
the think bank, which is the computer and stuff, and plug that in to see.
But other than that, I don't have a problem. If you can't do 24/7 because of officer safety, I'm fine with that then.
What's our total cost right now with overtime? Where are we at with it?
The millage is at, as of today, 98.14%.
Which is what amount? Total, total that has been spent. Is that what you're saying? The 98%?
Yeah.
1,138,994 cents.
1,000,000.
1,138,000. Wait, sorry, 1,138,389.94.
Commissioner Serbuk.
Do you know what your projected overtime costs are for the current fiscal year that we're in? How much money we're gonna spend in fiscal 26 on overtime the way we are right now? The way we're operating right now?
That would be an undersheriff question.
And then my next question is, you propose hiring 2 deputies. What's the cost of that?
I can answer
What's
that.
your estimated cost of hiring 2 officers versus what we're paying in overtime right now? I'm sure hiring 2 officers is probably twice as much as what 2 officers is gonna cost, at least.
Would you like an answer?
Yes, please.
When we were at a previous meeting, 2 officers with benefit package would be about 220,000, but we have cars, we have uniforms, we have insurance, we have other packages. So we have weapons and there's other things. The 220,000 is just
Just
the,
wages and fringes.
that's correct. Not anything that we have to outfit them or vehicles.
That's fair.
So probably
We estimated about,
75 with car and.
you're talking about probably 345, 350, I think, when we did
Okay.
that.
How much at this point?
And how much are we paying in overtime
We-
so far this year?
That's
What-
the question I want.
We currently are today in overtime. We're over budget, $2,067. We're at 102%, and we still have 6 weeks to go. And 76,000. I think it's about 90,000 is what the projected per year is in overtime.
I have a question or comment.
$90,000 in overtime. Were you done, Commissioner Serbuk?
Is that correct?
90,000 in overtime
I
versus
think that's what we projected, 90,000.
request for
This year,
175,000 plus? Nuh-uh.
Commissioner Lee?
I'm not saying it's wrong, but just math in my head, for 2 officers, 345,000 that doesn't seem right to me. That seems too high.
That was
Give him a car.
the
Why do we have to give them a car?
balances and the other things
Need a
that come
car.
across to them for their training and all the other things. I think we sat and worked it out, wasn't it? 220. It was the 3 of us. It was 220 for 2 officers. And then the other benefits that if you take every category of what We're gonna be paying more in fleet insurance. We have vehicles, because those vehicles, you're gonna have more people driving them.
We're
We have
not-
people that
We're
take
not buying more vehicles. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
Oh,
We're
wait,
not
no.
buying more cars because we're getting two more officers.
Well,
I'm
their
just
standard
going
operating
with the
procedure
other-
is somebody in a
other
car every day. They all get a car.
You're
They
not,
get to go
Everybody gets
home with
one.
it.
you're not talking about buying two new vehicles.
He's giving everybody a car already.
Yeah, he's giving everybody a car.
Everybody's got a car to drive
They
home.
drive
Hey,
home in
guys,
the car.
We're getting kind of out of hand.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. Any other
No,
comments,
I'm,
questions?
as of now, no, I have nothing else.
Francine, oh, Commissioner Mayhew, please.
I know at our end, we're in the north and it takes a while to get there. But if we have a wreck or a murder or anything like that, you're looking at the minimum of 5 cars coming up 33. And I mean, they're not all county. There'll be 2 states, 2 counties, even the city of West Branch. I mean, I don't know about West Branch or Skidway, but I do know at our end of the county when you get help, and I'm sure you help them. I mean, I don't know if it's a state or you being called, but I see all your cars. I mean, you know what I mean?
There's a lot there.
It's not 10 minutes from one car to the next car to the next car. They're there at our end. I mean, like I said, here, over there, I don't know. I just know what I see at our end.
Go ahead.
But yeah, I mean, I'm sure you guys have deals. When I was on the fire department, we had mutual aid, and when we called, and I'm sure if all these deals here, I mean, even just a car wreck, we got 4 and 5 cars coming. You know what I mean? And I don't know if there's one on the scene and the rest of them are coming in, but I do know that it ain't long and we have lots of cars.
A lot of it is on what type of crash it is. If it's a PI rollover, yeah, you're gonna get multiple. But what I'm getting at is the unpredictable, unpredicted.
Well-
Are they gonna be available when I need them? That's.
I know what you're saying, and I don't wanna be the guy, but
Yeah.
I can walk out here and get hit by cars getting in my pickup. I got no control, you got no control. Some stuff we don't have control over.
I asked Francine to do a little fact checking. Can you verify some things? Can you
Oh.
verify 24-hour road patrol?
I was unable to verify that. There were some gaps.
I guess I'm a little frustrated in the aspect that, I mean, we were full steam ahead as far as strategic planning. I mean, it sounded like everybody was on board. You guys, communication lines had opened, law enforcement was on board. We had a strategic meeting planned, and it just kind of seems like everything's nothing's moved forward. Whether it's lack of communication, lack of plan. I read our legal opinion as far as what we are able to do, not able to do, what our duties are as far as commissioners, and it's primarily just budget. I mean, I understand costs have went up. You still got, you got $1 million there. You've known what costs you've had from October 1. From October 1, you've known your cost. We can't tell you how to staff. That's your job. Your job is to run your department. Your job is to keep your people safe, make sure they have equipment, cars. Those decisions are 100% on you. 100%. Our job is to manage this budget. That's it. Am I in favor of hiring 2 officers? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Unfortunately, what we got to do from here is if you're not able to give 24/7 road patrol with what has been funded, then I don't see another option at this point in time. And it's very sad that there hasn't been more communication since everybody had agreed to do some strategic planning, because that was the only advice that was given to us. Maybe we can work something out.
Especially if I can make one
Just some
comment.
brainstorming, yes.
So, yeah, I agree. It seemed like things a couple months ago were really heading in the right direction, and as a sheriff would say, you know, the walls get put up and it seems like the walls are back up again. But I think basically at the end of the day here, as Commissioner Scott stated, you know, 2021, we're completely broke. Sadly, I had to make some really hard decisions. We're finally getting financially in a position. We're creating sustainability, and we still have a lot of costs. a lot of costs, and the state keeps coming at us for more things that are gonna cost the county more. I think the most important thing that we can do right now is we have a millage, and we need to be honest and transparent with our residents. If we can't control 24/7 road patrol, then all I ask is that you and the undersheriff and your command officers that are making sure, you know, our deputies are on the road when they need to be, is that every single dollar of our taxpayers' money that's paying for this road patrol millage is being utilized properly. If you cannot be consistent with 24/7, then we need to be consistent with the message to our residents that no, you are not receiving 24/7. But we guarantee you, from what we see and from what we're hearing from the sheriff department, they are doing everything in their power to protect you as best as they can with what we have. But we need to be consistent. We have to be honest. We have to be transparent. But when it comes to coming in here and $300,000 to be able to bring 2 new police officers, in a perfect world, yes, safety of our residents is pretty much the most important thing. But we just financially cannot do that. So we just got to be honest.
Have we signed the agreements with the schools?
That's gone back and forth. I just, before we came in here, sent another email that is because it's gone back and forth between, because they sent it to their attorney. They wanted to change language. There's been this tweaking of language, so hopefully it's,
We haven't approved that, correct?
no.
So there's our 2 officers that we already employ.
But they're being
That's
paid
gonna
for
cost-
by the school. If the school
We don't
doesn't
have the
pay,
money
then
to
we
pay
gotta
them
pick
then.
up the tab.
They will, the contract needs to be confirmed by the school before it
Well,
comes here.
I hear you, but again, we're not legally obligated to contract with the schools. We went through this last year. They can contract with anybody, any security team, any legal team, anybody. They don't have to contract with us. We found that out last year.
Comment.
Yes.
But if we would do that, in order to pay those 2 additional officers, we would have to come out of the general fund.
But it,
Absolutely.
Where else?
Where else are you gonna get it from?
it,
They're getting paid right now from Woodmore Prescott and Ogemaw Heights. So now we'd be the one paying them.
I understand you. Our other option is to, if we're running out of money and we're maxed out on our overtime, this budget is spent. Then you start laying off. It's spent.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, we accept that we don't cover 24/7. Now, if we can't even do that, then, or we get to, you know, less than that, I don't know. I mean, like I say, back in the last decade, the sheriff at that time cut out night patrol. And we went for how many years without night patrol? And it didn't seem to bother the public. They didn't scream bloody murder. You know, and so maybe that's what we gotta do. I don't know, if the costs keep going up, and we can't maintain eight deputies and command, well, then I would say, you know, if we can't keep paying those people within the number of the millage, then I would say you gotta reduce manpower. You know, I mean, that's all spending within, I mean, like, if they want 4 or 5 more cars next year, we may have to look at staffing cuts to be able to buy cars. It's gotta be within as far as my opinion is, anything to do with road patrol has gotta be under the cap of that millage. That's my opinion. And if the costs exceed that, then you gotta cut back something, either cut back the amount of cars you buy or the number of people you pay. But that's the cap, as far as I'm concerned, is how much that brings in on that millage. Now, one thing happened in my life is all my assessments went up, so I'm paying more taxes. My taxable value went up on all my properties, so I'm paying more taxes. So I'm trying to fight the cost of doing business, but we know this. This is the whole thing way back with the jail. We kept hearing from the previous sheriff, the costs never go up. They never go up, but we know they did. Every year, we know they do. We got union negotiations and we pay people more money. Costs go up.
Madam Chair, can I say something? Back when this millage started, we were subsidized or assisted by the general fund of quite a bit of money. Throughout the budget years, it's been reduced. It's been reduced down to 370 this last budget year, which takes care of my wage, the undersheriff's wage, the secretary wage, my car, oil and grease, and some insurance. The rest of it is solely on the millage.
Right, that's
There-
exactly
there-
right.
There is not enough money to perform 24/7 with the cost of doing business over there. And I wasn't gonna bring this up tonight, but I'm going to. If you all listen, if you all listen to a commissioner meeting back on 9/10 of 2020, about 47 minutes into it. And I don't know exactly word for word, but you should look that up. One commissioner says, there's no way that road patrol can sustain just the millage. That was one commissioner said. The other commissioner says, no intent not to lower the budget, just to enhance the road patrol. That millage was to enhance the road patrol by the current budget, general budget that was there. So I would encourage you folks to look up September 10th, 2020, about 47 minutes into it. And you'll see a couple commissioners. I'm not saying names. I'm not throwing nobody under the bus. I'm not doing that. I'm not here to.
Well,
do
we can eliminate a few of them.
But anyway,
there.
That's what's very discouraging to me is that the beginning of this millage, we had the support to run it and we ran it very well. We had 13 deputies at the time and we were rocking pretty good. And then every year, the general fund went away. So that's where we're at. There is not enough money to run it. We need help. We need to either get back into that general fund to offset our cost, or there's going to be gaps. Because operating that facility over there outweighs the costs coming in, bottom line.
I got one question for you. At their last meeting, a couple things that I'll briefly say. This is kind of shocking to me because at the beginning, I don't go to the law enforcement meetings. At the beginning of the summer, we asked, are you fully staffed? There was no positions open. Zero positions. You had the 2 resource officers going to the road. Still, all this overtime has accumulated throughout the summer months. And there's been some pretty big gaps, let's be honest, in the 24-hour road patrol throughout the summer months. There has been. Let me finish.
Yep.
So let's come up with a strategic plan. We get a new administrator. She's got some history with law enforcement, got quite a bit of experience. We're bringing these walls down. There's some communication, there's transparency. We're going to come up with, let's do it strategic planning. All of us together at different times, let's do some brainstorming. We're trying to stay in our lane while you stay in yours. Since last month, coming up with this plan for strategic planning, how many meetings have you had to come up with a strategic plan? With our administrator, with law enforcement, with how many? To come up with some various plans, various options. How many?
Probably 2 or 3.
Okay. And you came up, you said this was your idea to hire two.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes, that would fill the gaps. That's the problem. We can't have a strategic plan if I don't have the people and the money to offset the 24/7. That's where I'm at with this.
Strategic planning is brainstorming. I mean, we had posters on the board. We were gonna all come up with different options, hopefully. Let's put them all together. Let's come up with a plan. There's been none of it. None of it.
Jan, can I make a comment? I probably said that remark back in 2020, but 2020, we found out a lot of different things. In 2020, we started an administrator that this county never had. Then we found out that we were taking money from this fund in that fund, and we were broke. See, it isn't just the sheriff's department, it's the whole picture. We had to correct the whole budget thing. Now, you're right. You, the undersheriff, the command officer, there are things that are in the sheriff's budget. Then there's road patrol millage, budget. Then there's the corrections budget. The sheriff's operation has numerous budgets to operate out of. It's not just the road millage. We understand that. And that's kept deputies on the road. Now, if we would have included all the command into the millage, we would not even have close to the number on the road now. Right? Well, if we included your pay and his pay and everything else, all those things that he just outlined, and we put them underneath the millage umbrella,
About the two of us.
the two of you and the secretaries, okay,
That's all that would move.
and the cars, like he explained. And then I think there's probably some building costs and things like that. Now, if we put that all underneath the millage, you wouldn't have the number of deputies you got.
Oh,
Would you?
Absolutely not.
No. So we separated that out so that you can maintain those 8 deputies. But we were in the county was in a tough shape back in 2020. I don't think any commissioner at that point knew how bad we were.
There's a strategic meeting planned next Friday,
Thursday.
Thursday.
There's next Thursday. Do you want us to keep that scheduled? Do you want to cancel that?
We could keep it.
What would you like to do, Sheriff?
Absolutely, I'll keep it.
Okay, perfect.
But-
More conversation about this.
This, if I may say so.
Yep.
This is where I struggle at, is that when I get an officer down, days off, PTO time, I don't have that extra body to plug that without paying overtime in order to maintain the 24/7. That's where we're having a problem.
Well, you just had a pretty extensive, I don't know if this was a medical, I don't want to get into it,
Yeah,
that's not
yeah.
what I'm saying.
I get you.
But you have to approve the PTO and everybody's entitled to their vacation, and I understand that, and I respect
Yeah.
that, so. But you just had an individual, was it an injury that had 4 weeks of PTO they just took? 4 weeks.
No injury.
So you allowed somebody to take 4 weeks off. That was planned? I don't know, I have no idea.
Well, I don't think I had a choice, to be honest with you.
Okay,
I didn't have a choice.
that's fair.
I got one more thing for the sheriff. So back to the strategic planning that we've been talking about, brainstorming different ideas. We had brought up in the law enforcement meeting last week, your command officer, your sergeant, who pretty much is in the office. Would there be the possibility of that position going out on the road to help fill those gaps, and yourself possibly to step up more in the office to pick up some of that weight? And then we were also told, I'm just using this as an example. I mean, this is Ogemaw County. We're not a very large county, 20-some thousand people. I understand in the summertime, we have quite a few more people. But we know when we were told during that law enforcement meeting, I'm just using this as an example, the sheriff in Roscommon County from time to time is on the road. He's out there when needed. He's arresting people when needed. Is that something that you'd be willing to do, is to help be able to, curb this overtime issue, especially right now that we're almost at 99% with, 45 days still left in the calendar year?
Answering your first question, the sergeant, he's on a rotation, so he works that schedule. He works
The
He worked
lieutenant.
2 on, 2 off. He's on a schedule.
I meant, I take that back. I said that wrong. The lieutenant.
The lieutenant is buried with stuff all day long. Just to help keep keep the office running.
Like doing detective work and,
That comes along, yeah, he does all that stuff, so. You brought up Roscommon. I have some statistics from Roscommon if you'd like to hear.
sure.
Roscommon Command Officer, one sheriff, one undersheriff, two lieutenants, six sergeants. Road patrol is one community officer, one SRO, one sting officer, one court officer, 14 road depus. Jail administrator and road lieutenant do not cover overtime often. The overtime is offered to everyone else prior to them taking on that. The sheriff and undersheriff do not work road unless a special events, which I do. I go on special events. I do it all the time. I have done that for years. They will cover if it's absolutely necessary, which I would do that. I've done that before. They always fill the shift with overtime. Road patrol coverage, minimum 3 depus during the day, single cars. So they have 3 guys, 3 cars on. Minimum 3 depus, 1 sergeant at night. So they have 2 cars on at night. Supervisors, there's 5 supervisors on during the day, 1 supervisor at night. Right now, Roscommon has spent $80,000 in overtime right now with all them people, with all that coverage. They're up to $80,000 overtime. And they also share the patrol with Garish, Richfield, Denton, and MSP. So they're well covered.
All right, guys, let's move forward. Iosco County doesn't, just for neighboring county, doesn't have any road patrol, correct?
Oh, yes, they do.
They are talking about a
Well,
millage.
they've got them.
They do
They've
not?
got, they just hired 2 more.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. I just talked to the board chair over there. They've got, he told me they just hired 2 so they could have a night shift.
Do they run a millage over there?
No.
They don't?
They're putting one on, I heard it, but.
They're pulling one of their correction officers, sending him to the academy and then hiring somebody else.
I can comment on OSCO just real quick. I have a business in National City. I've been there for 2 years. And right around that point in time, they were starting to slowly get back on road patrol. But I do not believe they have a millage, but they have for the last couple of years, they've been increasing up.
Sheriff Frank is.
Yeah.
Awesome job.
All right, jail administrator position discussion.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jail administrator discussion.
Want the sheriff back up for that?
Want to be part of this conversation? Okay, come on up.
Kind of like tag team.
A little bit. I worked a little bit more with the jail administrator, so.
Being on the sheriff? Who wants to lead on this, I guess? Where are we at?
I was asked to put this on the agenda as there's been some discussion. It came to attention just for doing the 26-27 budget and was unable to get with the undersheriff as he was off. And the sheriff had told me to reach out to the jail administrator at any time to clarify some things. I reached out to him and wanted to have a discussion to explain their budget to me because I didn't really understand it. And we weren't able to finish up some budget discussions. And so I wanted to understand, especially about the overtime, how the structure worked. And I was getting some conflicting information of how many employees were there. So I just wanted to confirm them. In reading over the job description, I probably made some assumptions that there was some things there. So he agreed to meet with me and wanted to go over the budget. And he was very nervous. And we were only there, Tracy and I met with him, offered to help. And I asked if he would explain the budget. And he had never been presented to the budget. His words were that he was never really allowed to look at the budget or he couldn't answer questions for that. And that he didn't do claims regarding that. So he couldn't offer a lot of information of what it was. I tried to go over a schedule, how it works to try to understand it. And so there was a lot of conversation since the last couple months. We've been inviting him to law enforcement meetings just to ask some questions, to gather information. Because I'm unsure where to collect that data from. And I have been working with Lieutenant Knopfsinger, who stated that I could say this today to try to help and assist in ways. However, that's not my position to train in that realm to do that. So that's why we're here with this conversation with members of law enforcement asking questions.
I can add to that quicker.
The budget over there.
Yeah, always has been the undersheriff. That's what I was trained as far as the original budgets and everything start with the undersheriff. They put them together. Now you review them with your jail administrator and that type of thing. If you recall, the current job description was part of this transition from a fully operational correctional facility to this thing. We had the issues that occurred with that transition, and then we created the administrative assistant. The previous lieutenants were more involved, but they also had their own administrative assistant that she did a lot of the work. She did a lot of the network. She did all Blue Cross and claims and all that, and they relied on her. But the way I was taught and the way I've operated since I've taken this position is that the original budgets start at the undersheriff, review with the sheriff, go over it with the personnel in command. Then it comes here and we have our discussions and come up with the final numbers. So some of that is that new position description that came here last year, 2 years ago.
There's
Oh.
24.
Yeah, when it was created, it added a lot more administrative to the description, including budget oversight and that type of thing. And then all the corrections stuff, because that was part of the conversation. So not only corrections, but administrative. So you've got 6 correction officers and now this jail administrator. Basically, I started hearing the conversation as this was going on and everything, so I can just tell you, we're moving forward to expedite his learning. I know we've talked about before, it was talked about giving him more job duties, but he's learning how to be an administrator right from the ground up. He really had no background in the administration. Operational, he's hitting all the benchmark. He knows how to run operational, do that type of stuff. So the learning curve is for administrative stuff, but I've already started. Francine's helped a little. He's in now the budget. He's doing a lot of studying and we're gonna expedite some training for him and to get him doing more administrative stuff. So.
Commissioner Wiltie.
So basically, I know the administrator kind of explained, what kind of brought this here today. And then at our law enforcement meeting last week, we were also briefed that the current jail administrator is also not approving the jail claims, which again, when you're talking the jail administrator, you sure would think the jail administrator would be reviewing the jail claims. So fiscally being responsible as us, the operators of the money, what is the point of having a jail administrator if the jail administrator who we currently have is doing 0 jail administrator duties? Now, listening to you tonight, Undersheriff, you're saying he needs to learn, he needs to get educated. He's been there a while. Last week when we were at the law enforcement meeting and we asked him, after that was brought up about not reviewing the jail claims, he hands me a sheet saying, well, I'm too busy basically being a corrections officer. So that's telling me that our process over there must not be set up properly if our jail administrator is basically working the lockup. So there's a bunch of problems here. Well, you were at the meeting, right?
I was at the
He
meeting, but
handed me
I'll
the sheet.
respectfully it used to be there was 2 administrative assistants. There was 2 different buildings. So the jail administrator would review claims from the jail, the sheriff's office would put theirs together. They would come together and they'd get dropped off. When we all come under one roof, we lost a lot of that strategic or your people that knew how to do a lot of that jobs, and it got condensed, and this is the system we had here. So when we talked about he needs to learn, all we're gonna do now is put the pedal down and start teaching him to do what this was created. It was trained to me that undersheriff always does a budget. That's what I do. And then you build off of that. And then when we had to condense and deal with the circumstances, I learned, I've said it before, a lot more about jail operations than I probably ever wanted to, unfortunately. But we'll get there. It's not that he's not capable. And it's always been part of the plan to send him to the MSA, new sheriffs and undersheriff training. I went to that in 21. So as soon as there's one available, he's gonna go to that,
May of 27.
May of 27.
Mhm.
That's always been the plan. Like I said, when I started in 21, that was, I think, January or February that I ended up in that school, and
You've been in that position. How long's that position, been filled? I don't think this should be given.
Since 2024.
It wasn't filled right away. Remember when we closed the jail on October 1 of 24? Remember that position wasn't filled till I want to say the beginning of 25.
Time.
Yes, yep.
So
Yeah,
let's
so
play
I
there.
think it was in winter of 25,
it was late.
wasn't
It wasn't early, but we had to go back.
Kind of years.
It's been a year.
Think about a
Usually.
year and a half.
Year and a half,
18
probably.
18
Somewhere,
months, I
18
think.
months.
That's all I was looking for. Mr. Scott, do you have anything?
Well, we heard you guys talk that you needed somebody to take care of all this stuff. You had so much stuff to do as undersheriff for the sheriff's office. Of course, you know, we're unique in our county because we seem to think that corrections is totally different than sheriff's office, and this has been my experience. So you can't talk to anybody in the sheriff's office about the jail because that's a whole different thing. Well, then we slapped you together in the same building, and so then we kept hearing, well, this is working out really good because now we all know what everybody does. But we wanted to give you a compromise, not just give you corrections officers, give you somebody in an administrative position that would take care of the scheduling and the claims and the, you know, paying for everything and everything else, and relieve jobs from you, the undersheriff, that you wouldn't have to do all this stuff.
Your plate's been very.
I mean,
I appreciate that. I mean,
it was all a compromise.
I get it, but this is a 2-year project that none of us have done. We've never experienced a lockup versus a jail, and we got rid of all our experience type of thing. So maybe I should have started him training sooner on some of these levels. I can accept that. Alls I'm looking at now is he needs to up his training and experience so he can take it. I have no problem giving him the budget. He can put the budget down, he can bring it to me, we'll take it to the sheriff and we'll do it in reverse. That'll take a load off. There's several other tasks that I'm gonna start networking him in. I've got a couple of different ideas as far as increasing his knowledge base, things that I did when I was gap filling, when this stuff happened, so.
Commissioner Serbrook.
I think what, the thing that brought this to a head was the fact that it started out with this budget. And as we dug into it more and more, he is not fulfilling any of the jail administrator's duties. He is acting as a corrections officer, so why are we paying him jail administrator wage? 18 months into this now, since he's been working, and he still doesn't know what a budget is. That's basic stuff, for God's sakes. Not doing claims. If he's the jail administrator, he should know exactly what things cost in that jail and live and die by that budget. I'm at a loss as to why we call him a jail administrator when he's not administrating anything.
Commissioner Mayhew.
I don't understand.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm just hearing from what I'm hearing. I don't know.
Each one of us became a commissioner that has to manage a budget. And we don't even come to work 5 days a week. 1 day a week, and we had to learn it.
I totally understand that, and so does he have to learn it, but it wasn't brought to him. I did not bring the budget to him because he's gap filling for 6 correctional employees that cover 24/7 operations. So he's doing a heck of a job of keeping the doors open and making sure that we can do what needs to be accomplished, taking people to court and all that other type of stuff. Yes, once he's comfortable once we know this operation is gonna be, not have pothole in it, and I'll put the foot down and do the administrative stuff. Get him up to speed on that.
You know, from what the undersheriff just said, he's acting as a correctional officer.
Yeah.
He is not performing jail administrator function. So why are we paying him jail administrator wage when he's doing correctional officer work? That's my point.
Just one more thing. So I do want to say, I do appreciate the fact that the jail administrator does come to our meetings quite often, and that is nice. It's good to have him there so we can talk with him. But it sounds like also, since there hasn't been a lot of strategic planning and this budgeting has not gone well with between our new administrator and the sheriff department and the jail, well, we also have an operational issue, because if we have 6 full-time correction officers and we can't sustain that, and our jail administrator is filling the gaps constantly, then that means to me that we have an operational issue, as in our current staffing is understaffed. Right?
Well, yeah, you're gonna do better with more staffing to cover vacations or stuff that comes up. But you've got 6 correction officers, and the 7th, he does a dual duty according to the description that was created 2 years ago when this project first started with closing down the jail. So I didn't do the history as far as what the lieutenant's job description or what they did as far as the operational. I was shown the budget start at the undersheriff. I don't know what your experience was.
Different.
Okay. That's what was shown to me when I started. And then Ozier would be informed, Howard would come, there would be communication, but they would operate out of the own building. Now we're all together. And we've only got 1.5, I say 1.5 administrative assistants.
Commissioner Wiltie, can I clear up the structure a little bit? Because I was confused on, there's actually 4 full-time corrections officers who work A and B shift. The 2 that will fill in for those are actually 2 full-time transport. So they'll fill in for the 4. This is what was explained to me, so correct me if I'm wrong.
I'll let you finish, but
That's what I was explained by the jail administrator, because I
That's
was
not
trying,
right.
there's six certified correction officers.
and 2 full-time transport.
The transports are all part-time, so you call them transport, but they're correction officers.
Okay, I'm not gonna go then, because what I was told was not accurate, so I can't, I'm sorry.
It's,
I apologize for stepping in, but I'm just repeating. what
I have a comment here. So this tells you this huge disconnect that we have. Commissioner Serber, please. It's the middle of August, and our and our new administrator isn't even aware of how many corrections officers we have, because she was informed by someone who thought she could trust would know that right information of what we currently have. So there's a huge disconnect going on here, and we need to get this figured out.
When's your guys' next jail or law enforcement meeting? It's before our next meeting, correct?
No, we just had it. It's the.
First Thursday in September will be our next one.
Can I just clarify how many we have, so I know, please?
you have 6 certified plus the jail administrator. So when they're talking about, I think where the disconnect comes in that understanding, you have 4 that maintain the shifts, the 12-hour shift to keep the doors open.
Right.
Then there's 2 additional correction officers that are labeled transport. But
Right.
they are a correctional officer that are primarily responsible for transporting in court days. So they fill in during the week at that point.
Full-time employees?
They are full-time employees, 6 full-time employees. Now, your other transport are the part-timers.
I understand that.
So you have 7 full-time employees, 6 correction officers, regardless of their title.
Thank you.
So as far as who does what exactly, we have no control over.
Correct.
And our legal team.
Correct.
Sent us all
Well,
a very
but-
informed email. The only control is
Well,
the budget.
we allocated,
Finish. And possibly eliminating that line item, correct?
no, because we allocated 2 transport officers and gave them job descriptions, what they would be. Because people have to go, they have to go to get people that have to go to court every day. or whatever court days there is, somebody has to go and get the inmate that's in another jail and bring them to court. So we had to have transport officers. So we allocated for transport officers. There's 4 shifts, 12-hour shifts in a week, A, B, night, day and night, and that's those four officers. And then you would have 2 other officers that would do the transporting on court days. And on other court days, they could cover, because they are corrections officers, certified, they could cover other things
As needed.
as needed. Right, but we allocated for 2 transport officers,
You didn't-
not 6 congressional.
you didn't let me finish. I was referring to the jail administrator position.
Well, that too, when we gave a general administrator with a position with a full,
We have the ability to remove that position.
we have the ability to remove any position.
Anything else?
I just got one more thing and that's it. So I do appreciate, Under Sheriff, all your information tonight and you're being transparent with us and I appreciate that. But if we do go start adding this work onto our current jail administrator, then he's gonna be taking on these responsibilities, therefore he won't be able to fill these empty shifts. Now, which it is very nice that he can fill these correction shifts, that is great. But if we start adding more work onto him, his jobs that he should be having that are under his true job description, then he's not gonna be available. So that goes back to the part that logistic wise, we're understaffed. Now we're looking already at a 72-hour lockup in small Ogemaw County that has a jail budget of $1+ million. And how often is there an inmate in that 72-hour lockup? It's still costing our county taxpayers $1+ million to have a 72-hour lockup. And how often is there an actual person in there? $1+ million. So I think there's logistics wise a lot that we need to look at here.
Thanks, Bob. RV park.
We are, we have caretakers at our RV park that are, quitting. We're looking at, bringing in, as another type of a contractor, campground host. So talking about the budget, we need another budget line. We need to vote on bringing another budget line in to accommodate that if we pay a stipend on top of a lodging or a lot.
Is this within your guys' budget?
Yes,
It is, but we have to create another line item and that should come to the.
mostly because of the future budget.
Are you gonna be able to, I mean, you're kind of on short notice here towards the end of camping season and.
We're already talking with people.
You gonna let me finish?
Go ahead.
Typically towards Halloween, it's busy at the campgrounds. Are you gonna be able to pull this off to?
I sure hope so.
complete the remaining camping season?
Yep, I sure hope so.
'Cause you can't be without caretakers, right?
Or we close the park.
Are them your 2 options?
Basically,
Basically, pretty close, yeah.
that was our discussion this morning at Parks and Rec was.
And of course,
We
the
do
latter.
not
don't
want to do that by any stretch of the imagination,
So,
but
you brought up every option.
We're giving it, go ahead. We rent it from the city of
no, we're on a lease
From the town.
with the township.
West Branch Township. Commissioner Mayhew,
In Rose City, they're just getting theirs going.
their campground?
They're parked there. And they're in a hurry, but anyhow, they're talking about, and if I understood it right, there's a deal there online that will take care of it. No, they're not gonna come and clean it, but they will take care of renting the sites out
We already,
and all of that. It's all online. And
Overpass.
we already do that.
We got it.
We've done it for years.
yes,
Yeah.
and
We already do that.
I just know that Rose City, that's what they're doing.
Yep,
There's
it's all in
nobody gonna
place.
live at their park or,
It's all in place. It's been doing it for 3 years now.
They're not gonna have oversight?
pardon?
They're not gonna have an individual in there for oversight?
They have city workers,
Yeah, they have. somebody-
DPW guys, whatever. They're gonna go through and clean it and, but yeah,
far as
They
reservations.
take care of the finances, there's some deal online takes care of it, they don't do nothing. Way I
They have
understood it,
patrolling through there too, don't they? Police.
yeah. But he was the one that recommended it, he's, I think, from Arizona or something, and then that's why they do it out there.
Commissioner will say anything?
Park's really nice asset to have, and I sure hope we can get this figured out.
We would just need a motion because if we have new people come in, we need that. So we're gonna move from one line item and create a new one within the park of $2,000. Was that correct?
Yes,
$2,000.
Someone like to make that motion?
I will make that motion.
I will support that motion.
Commissioner Scott? Or Commissioner Serbrook, further discussion? Roll call vote?
Charles Wiltie.
Yes.
Mark Serbrook.
Yes.
Craig Scott.
Yes,
Jenny David.
Yes.
Roger Mayhew.
Yes.
Item E, secondary road patrol grant. Anthony?
So we received this, I received it from the undersheriff. This is previously for the secondary road patrol grant. 82,165, October 1st, 26 to September 30, 27. The previous administrator was currently listed as the financial officer along with the undersheriff. Karen was asked to be removed and Tim was added. His question was, who was to be added, the county treasurer or the county administrator? And for him to submit it quickly, we need a vote on that to change it so he can change it in the system so he can get it done.
I'll make a motion that we, name the county administrator as the signer.
Support.
Motion from Commissioner Scott, support from Commissioner Serbrook. Undersheriff, do you have anything?
No, this is just the MGX system. If you recall, Madam Chair, you were one of the members that are on that board for approval of that program from the state level. So it's you, the budgetary, and the sheriff are the three approvers. I'm just on there as the person that does number entries and make sure all the stuff gets done on MGX.
I get the
So,
email.
yep, yeah, because you're on there as one of the three approvers, so you're in that system, so.
And my apologies, it wasn't on the agenda. I didn't see it when the undersheriff sent it on Monday. That's why it's not on your agenda.
Any other discussion? Let's do a roll call. It's
Mark Serbrook.
Yes.
Craig Scott.
Yes,
Jenny David.
yes.
Roger Mayhew. Charles Wiltie.
Yes.
Thanks, Undersheriff. Item F,
Thank you.
claims. I didn't miss anything, did I? No.
No.
Claims total, gosh. Amount approved, $915,636.31. I'll make a motion to approve claims.
Support.
We have a motion with support from Commissioner Mayhew. Commissioner Mayhew and I reviewed claims last night. Just I jotted a few things down. Electric bill for this building was $15,327. Elections, I did see like $13,301. I'm sure this could be reimbursed. No.
Yes, that one is reimbursed.
I also saw, I got a question, and just because window, Anderson window, was there no warranty? And was that one of the new windows for like $2,200? Some crank or something was broke in the clerk's office?
It's not window.
Oh,
It's our file storage. What do I call it? Like Traver.
I
oh,
was just wondering.
It's got a better name that you can understand, but I can't remember what I call it. No, it's our file system. We had to have them come out twice because we were literally dead in the water. It couldn't move, and it's got 10 or so years of the most current files.
So I read it wrong. It said crank.
It's Anderson, and it did need a crank, yes.
Circuit Court, Roscommon County Quarterly, that was, quarterly bill for that. District Court, we had service, I had that wrote down for 20,000. We had inmates, Glenwood County was $27,392. Aranet County was $1,984. Our medical examiner was pretty high this month, and that was primarily transport. That wasn't paying them their quarterly. It was transport and a bunch of autopsies, $15,000. Mesa Insurance was in there, $87,631. What else we talk about? Parks was, in there, stuff on parks.
What was the insurance cost?
I wrote Mesa Insurance, it was $87,631.
Mesa?
Yeah,
Okay, Mesa, all right.
miss anything?
I don't think so.
What was the 43,000 for treasurer's office? You guys sent out a bunch of,
No, that was
is that the title research and stuff for,
Yes.
yeah, that, I know that's always
I
expensive,
looked
so.
at that. There was another
Yep.
upgrade or a quarterly or a subscription too, and I don't remember, I didn't write that down. It was, but BSNA was one department had, it was a pretty large amount, but. it
Title
was-
check was 15,000,
Yeah.
property inspection visit fees were 14,000.
Yep.
Yeah, there was a lot of little stuff on there.
Another 13,380 for title check also, separate one.
That was my suspicion.
Any other questions? Roll call vote.
Craig Scott,
Yes.
Jenny David,
Yes.
Roger Mayhew,
Yes.
Charles Wiltie,
Yes.
Mark Serbrook.
Yes.
Item 9, unfinished business, District Health Department, 2 fiscal year 2025 annual report and county appropriations increase. Someone like to entertain a motion?
I have a resolution there. Is there a resolution?
Yeah,
No.
well,
Huh?
this request is sponsored by Denise Bryant, Health Office
Right.
of District Health Department fiscal year 2025 annual report and request for appropriations increase. We did receive some information that was requested for the amounts with the 3%. I have it printed off.
Okay,
We
I'll make a
currently
motion.
Hang on, we currently advocate for fiscal year 2026, Ogemaw County is $129,588 with the 3% increase. Ogemaw County is $133,475.64.
I'll make the motion to approve the increase to FY 2027.
Support.
Motion Commissioner Scott, support from Commissioner Serbuk. Any discussion?
I'd just make a comment. It's been 10 years since we gave them an increase. I know we always ask that question, what's your fund balance? But there's no doubt that it's a collaboration and it's an entity of the county that does a lot of good things, especially if sometimes some things we don't have any control out of happen. Again, it's been 10 years. I do feel we need to support this.
It is a mandated service.
It is a mandated service.
It's a mandated service, yes.
And I'm not in favor of, the reason I'm just not in favor of this, because we asked them their fund balance last week and it was quite large. I guess you guys sit on the health department board. If they do not receive extra fundings from us, will any of their services be discontinued?
2 employees will be laid off.
That's certain?
Yes. No? Oh, I'm sorry.
Come on up,
Well, I thought we were, I'm sorry.
come on up. I believe, are you Denise?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I was not at the meeting that you spoke at.
I hope you got the annual report.
Yes,
We
it's
did. So if, my question that I have, the only question that I have is if you do not receive this 3% increase, which is minimal, I agree, will this impact any of your current services that you have?
It does not impact the mandated programs. It impacts some of the other operational pieces. And we're going into negotiations for January 1st, 2027 wages. So we laid off 2 people last year because.
We
the
lost grant
budget-
funding,
Yes.
correct? Yeah.
And we have unknown budget issues from the state, and immunizations just took a big hit federally. We
Right.
lost some funding and probably some mistrust in vaccinations, which we really need to address.
Agreed.
And dividing up doses, making more visits for months, none of that was making sense, but we need to prepare to run clinics to do the education to families on that. But our nurse practitioner wage is $41 an hour to start. And nurses are $26.50. I used COVID money to give bonuses when we had that money coming in to reward the really hardworking efforts. But we haven't had COVID money. 3 budgets ago we did. We have been seeing those federal dollars being diminished. But I made a promise to the Board of Health, when money went away, the positions had to go away, because we could never get to the budget fiasco of being underwater on budget, and 70% of our budget is staff. So, is this an immaterial amount, 3% for each of the counties? Yes and no. Every county's fighting for every dollar. I just watched you all scrutinize your budget, so I really appreciate your time to discuss the importance of public health. And we just got a notice, Waste Management has a surcharge of 33% going up, 1 letter in our bill. You know, you open it up. So the cost of living in the 10 years, I'm really proud of the fact I didn't have to come back to boards and ask for an increase. But our appropriations are unrestricted dollars. And going into the next year, if there's enough financial insecurity with the elections in the federal, that I wouldn't have asked the board for the increase if I didn't think it was necessary. And our operating cost is $400,000 a month to pay our bills.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate
I-
their services and everything that they do.
I apologize for my error in the layoff.
It's okay.
It was-
I appreciate it, and I definitely don't want to take away
No.
how great they are and very much needed for the community. However, I'm uncomfortable saying yes to this when we literally, I would much rather
Right.
take care of our own employees. Again, not saying that I don't support them 100%. Public health is huge. However, I'm not okay saying yes to a 3% raise when we're struggling in other departments at this point in time. So roll call vote.
Jenny David.
No.
Roger Mayhew,
No.
Charles Wiltie,
Yes.
Mark Serbrook,
Yes.
Craig Scott.
Yes.
Item 9B, resolution recognizing historic contribution of Trinity Episcopal Church of 125 years of service.
Episcopal.
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 Okay, would anybody like to entertain a motion?
I'll entertain a motion.
Motion from Commissioner Wiltse, would anybody like to second it? Anybody like to second it? Okay, item C, emergency manager contract. Item 9C, emergency manager Mike Bowers contract. This resolution is sponsored by the Board of Commissioners. There was a change in request in the contract that Mike Bowers communicate to the county administrator by written communication for all correspondence unless of an emergency situation to call. Would anybody like to entertain this motion?
I'd like to make a motion to put out an RFP, another RFP for,
Right now, we have a motion on the,
no, then
right now, we
fine,
have a motion on the floor.
fine.
Would anybody like to entertain this motion?
Motion for
Emergency manager contract,
the discussion we had last week for the 6 months with a 3-month review.
Mike Bowers contract.
Make a motion.
Motion from Commissioner Warfield, would anybody like to support it?
Support.
Support from Commissioner Serbrook, discussion?
I would hope there's maybe some discussion there. Sounds like there's some. You said you wanted to RFP it again.
Yeah,
Can you tell me why? What's going on?
I thought about it all week, and with the information that I've received, I think we should go a different way.
Any other discussion?
This memorandum that you've got here, this is gonna be added to,
It's in, if you see there's a memorandum, then there's an actual contract.
okay.
And
I
then,
was just looking at the memorandums. I
the
didn't see it.
the contract that, you probably have seen before, that's why I just brought attention to it. Because it states in here in case of emergency phone call, obviously. So I wanted to bring attention to it, so it just wasn't overlooked, and then the job description is attached.
I just
Thank
want to
you.
verify, I guess I want to verify from the other commissioners. Did you guys receive a pretty lengthy email on Monday from Mr. Bowers? You guys
I
receive it?
did.
Did you receive it as well? Commissioner Serbrook?
Yes.
I had a question on that, Mike. If you don't mind me, I looked to see who was all CC'd on
He's
it.
gotta come up here so we can hear him.
Look to see who was all CC'd on this pretty lengthy email that you sent, out to us. Who is, and the one name I didn't know on here was oh shoot, I wrote it down. Where'd it go?
Charles Parker.
Yes, I did write.
Yes, he is our district coordinator from EMH, MSP EMHSD.
What was his name again?
Charles Barker, Lieutenant, Special Lieutenant.
And he's who?
He is the district coordinator. He coordinates the 14 counties in Region 3 for the state of Michigan.
But I guess my question is when you sent that email out to us, why was he CC'd on it? How did that relate to him?
Because with MSP, he would be considered my direct supervision at MSP.
At MSP?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
I have a question. So if we don't make a decision tonight, and who's gonna be in charge of Ogemaw County's emergency management if we leave this building tonight without approving Mike Bowers for the 6 months?
You have that answer?
Well, he's being paid month to month. We're continuing that. So it would be Mike Bowers until another decision was made. If we continue to pay him, because he submitted an invoice and we submitted that. So it's month to month now. So he's upholding what he has been without a contract as we've been paying monthly. And he's listed on everything as that.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Mike, do you have anything to add?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Roll call vote.
You all.
Thanks, Mike.
Roger Mayhew,
No.
Charles Wiltie,
Yes.
Mark Serbrook,
Yes.
Craig Scott,
No.
Jenny David.
Item 10, administrator's report. Go ahead. Did you want to make a motion?
I'd like to make a motion that we redo, an RFP for the position.
Support.
Motion from Commissioner Scott, support from Commissioner Mayhew. Discussion? Any?
Sure discuss.
After the vote, I guess we don't have much choice.
I request if anybody's got something to say, so you can't ever say you didn't have an opportunity to put your opinion out there.
Thank you very much.
No discussion? Roll call vote.
Charles Wiltie,
No.
Mark Serbrook,
Yes.
Craig Scott,
Yes.
Jenny David,
Yes.
Roger Mayhew.
Yes.
Item 10, administrator's report.
This is from a couple of weeks ago, but I'd like to report, I think Steve had talked about this. I attended the assessors conference that Randy put on. That was excellent. It really helped with determining how to figure out millages with the rollback in order to project budgets. So it was an excellent class, and I just want to give them kudos to that for always offering those at a very low cost to make a lot of townships and employees available to attend. I'd also like to appreciate Breck for the way she handled elections, being that there was a lot of early voting here, being part of trying to have meetings with her while she was answering phone calls, especially the day of election. It was handled very professionally, accurately. There was people who answered questions. It was very well done and very proud that we had that in this building. I talked about the materials management grant last week, and speaking to legal counsel after conversation, we had, they suggested an idea of somebody who really handles that, is that to talk with our zoning administrator because in some counties that is handled by the zoning administrator. So I had a conversation with Ryan and he stated that he had already talked in length to Tim very much about this. He was very well aware of the program and he was interested in it and would jump right on board. Also, he's already had someone reach out to him to have a site asking questions about zoning, so he was really familiar with the laws. So I connected him with Chris and we'll be bringing to committee on the whole next week to change him, that he'll be our support system for that, to do the work that he can be able to submit to get reimbursed, which is a really great solution. This week, obviously, we've been doing a lot of interviews, transit directors, bailiff coordinators, and trying to do some finalization and getting information about budgets. I am creating a bailiff's office in my old office, so they have a place where they have a computer that they can log in, they can do their reports, they can act on, the bailiff coordinator can do things in there and need to have meetings. This is also where we can do all the setup for the training because there's a lot of trainings done. So that's going to be happening. Also working with Roscommon County Administrator, there was a lot of things that between our IT departments that have been a work in progress. And all of them have been fulfilled of what is needed, requested, with the exception of an SSL certificate. And so Roscommon County IT completed the requirements there. Then we received something on Friday that Ogemaw County District Court needs to, our IT needs to put some type of software on there. So we've been in contact, communicating back and forth of what needs to be done to be compliant.
There's gonna be a cost there?
I'm not sure at this point. On our end, to upload, I sent it to our IT director. I'm unsure if there's a cost.
Is there a timeframe?
When they, the SSL certificate, would you mind sharing? Because I'm unsure if the SSL certificate cannot be downloaded if our access software. Roscommon County's IT director appeared after conversation with Roscommon County, so.
Oh, hi.
Hello,
Your name?
Andy Priest. So in order for this SSL certificate, which your IT department requested, in order for that to work, you would have to update the software that it's loaded against. Currently, you're using an older software. It's called iAccess. The newer software that this SSL certificate will work with is called ACS. That's it for the SSL certificate portion.
A question.
Mhm.
Have you had conversations with our IT director about this?
No.
Why not?
We've just had email discussions, but that's about it. It's been very contentious, I guess would be the word.
Really?
I guess I'm missing something.
I'm too.
What's the SSL do?
All right, I'll put it like this. So between Roscommon County building and the Ogemaw County building, there's this connection over the internet, okay? It's called a VPN. And that connection is encrypted. Okay, so that means that all the criminal history information that is transmitted back and forth is encrypted while it is outside of those two protected buildings. Does that make sense so far, what I'm saying?
Nobody else can, encrypted means nobody else can.
That's correct. Okay. The SSL would encrypt it inside of your building.
Okay.
Okay. In the past, we haven't done this because it's not necessary. if for some reason, let's say the VPN is a deadbolt. The SSL is the little lock on the knob. Is that really necessary?
Maybe. I got your name.
Yes.
So what's your position? Are you with Roscommon
Yes,
County?
I'm their IT director.
Oh,
That's what she
okay.
said.
All right, well.
So I
He's
didn't know he was gonna be
all
here.
this time, I
I-
didn't know who he was.
I didn't, so I did not know.
Oh, I didn't know either, you know, I just thought he was the audience. I mean, once in a while we get audience.
Tom, this is for court purposes? I don't understand IT at all. I know nothing about it.
Yes, it is. It's for the court. It's for your district and circuit court because you have a shared court between the two.
But understanding the SSL certificate protects us in this building, correct?
Correct. Normally, that's overkill. You wouldn't do that. Unless for some reason you would have security issues inside of your building.
But you're able to do that. You have the capability, you've done the SSL certificate. So
Yeah,
okay.
yes, I put in the work and got the SSL certificate that was requested. Wasn't necessary, but I went ahead and did it just to appease the Ogemaw County IT department.
Is there a cost to any of this stuff?
There is a cost. I'm going to assume there's going to be a cost for the purchase of the ACS program.
That's what we have to get?
Yes. In order for the SSL certificate to actually work.
So we should all have the same thing. We should have the same as Roscommon. You guys share all of this court information. We should all be on the same.
Should
Correct.
be, yeah.
Is that our goal here?
That's how it was previously. Before, I don't know, a month or so ago, I think, is when this whole thing started.
Well, there was some things to come to compliance on our end,
Mhm.
back and forth, right?
Correct.
And so this is the last part of the SSL certificate that has been a lengthy process.
That the Ogemaw IT department requested.
Well, through the Ogemaw County Administrator,
Okay.
through your administrator.
Through Roscommon County
Yes.
Administrator. You said
Roscommon
it.
County.
Ogemaw County Administrator sent it to the Roscommon County Administrator. Yes, as a request of the SSL certificate based upon to keep it safe. So we have the SSL certificate that you've been able to provided. Now we have to do access software, correct? To be
ACS,
complete.
but yes,
ACS.
you have to, I'm going to assume, purchase upgraded software for it to work.
Okay.
That's all we need and we're done with this. We'll be all good.
As far as I know, yeah.
Questions? Tom, do you have anything?
I do. Thank you, Andy, for coming. I'm a little surprised just that our board would invite you to the podium without some sort of advance notice. And I don't disrespect your requests that you made before, and I complied with them. And some of the things that I found was that, from my interpretation of the requirements for criminal justice information is that it must be encrypted in transit. And I respect the VPN between us. However, what I found was that when I ran a packet capture on our firewall, that I could clearly see information such as usernames and passwords of the district court users and basically watch their steps while they were performing their tasks because the information is not encrypted. So to further protect both of us, I requested the SSL certificate, which actually, when I started in May of 2018, the AS400 had a SSL certificate. It lapsed, and I contacted Roscommon County and received a message from Pat that IBM discontinued them, and that was false. IBM doesn't particularly issue the certificate. You know as well as I do, you generate a signature request, upload it, and you get a certificate back, and then you install it on the clients, and then that guarantees the authenticity between the two devices. Am I correct?
Not entirely.
Okay.
You are correct in terms of Windows-based. As far as with IBM, it's a completely different animal. We
Okay.
had to include some contractors who work with IBM. And it took probably a week or so of going back and forth with IBM, the people who make this, to create this certificate that was requested by, I guess,
Ogemaw County.
Ogemaw County. We'll say requested by Ogemaw County.
But again, IBM didn't discontinue the SSL certificates. It was the choice of Roscommon at the time not to renew it.
Correct, because it was unnecessary at the time.
Okay, and that's debatable, but I respect that.
Now you got it.
So bad.
I fail to see though how we are required to have the ACS software. One of my concerns as an IT director is that it's Java based. And there are several vulnerabilities that have happened in the past with Java, and it's a piece of software, whereas there have been no exploits with the iAccess software that we use now. And it's perfectly capable of handling the encryption between the AS400 and the client.
That's not the information I received from IBM.
I'd appreciate that if you could forward that, but that is my understanding today. It's the same software that we used when we had the encryption before. So, and again, I forwarded to Francine the list of vulnerabilities the other day with the current ACS software. And I don't want to open us up for an exploit. I understand the software that we use is older, but it's rock solid and it's never had any kind of an issue. If there are features that district court cannot perform because they don't have the current ACS software, I would be more than happy to upgrade them. But what I don't want to do is install something that looks like a piece of Swiss cheese with a bunch of holes in it. And right now there was an article dated August 3rd with a list of the vulnerabilities with the software that you want me to install. And I have a huge problem with that. And again, I cannot thank you enough for getting the SSL certificate. I think it's doing great for both of us.
Job is liability wise for the county. We got to get this figured out. So I had no idea who you were. So thank you for being here and speaking, and hopefully what's our plan so we can get this resolved?
I think Jody and I will reach out, and I think it's best that the four of us have a meeting. I think that would be great if that's doable, or you two can have a meeting. What is the preference?
I'll be more than happy to meet with Andy. If he wants to do a Zoom call or a phone call, I'll do 2 or 4, whatever you prefer.
We need all 4 on board.
Okay, I'll reach out and set a meeting with all 4 of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is all.
Thank you.
Me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming. I didn't know.
Thank you, Andrew.
Anything other from?
No, you requested that I talk about SSL certificate, so I didn't know that he was gonna be here, so. That's it. I'm just want to be thankful that I'm really excited about this bailiff team that we have with creating and doing all the certification. It's really exciting to have that, and already changed a couple policies and put them into place this week. So it's more to come on that.
Question for Administrator. Fran, were you going to bring up the transit director position and ask for the blessing?
I can.
Yes, please.
Yes. Okay, so can we add this to the agenda and not in my updates, please?
Within your report.
Okay, in my report. So we have done some transit director interviews. Great candidates. We are working with one and would like to offer him the position. And we have them at a set level of the step 5. And we're negotiating to see what they've already passed a background and moving forward with all the paperwork. So we're requesting that we can do that so we can extend an offer to someone and get the paperwork going for the physical and everything to process for the transit director.
Finances stay the same?
What?
No difference in finances?
It's moving up a level of what the previous transit director was paid, actually 2 levels.
I think that's gonna require a vote.
Dollar wise, what is that?
64, it's right under 65,000.
Can this wait till committee as a whole?
Well, we'd like to proceed with the offer. We spent all Monday afternoon and Wednesday afternoon doing interviews. The 3 of us came to a consensus with 2 good people. I can tell you currently, we have an interim director over there. However, that interim cannot handle anything, so I am still managing many things on an HR level that every day that I'm involved
I
in
hope this
transit.
person is at some kind of level, he doesn't need interim help like the last one, and we gotta pay two people at the same time.
Can you tell us a little bit about this individual? Experience?
Tons of experience, multiple experience in managing operations at different levels of what's called not fleet management,
Logistics.
logistics. Actually had supervised about 6,000 people, and would fly to Mexico every other week to manage when there was a recall on a product they had in a vehicle. And worked in this home office trying to get and restructure that product. Logistics isn't my area, but I think I covered it. Did I cover it well? Vast experience in working with multiple people, nationalities, doing a lot of shipping and receiving, going actually to doing logistics work on the airport runway, as opposed to making sure packages get done and the people that are there to do it and make sure. I was impressed that there was, and I learned a lot about if a product isn't going to get there, sometimes trucks cannot get there soon enough, so they have to have helicopters fly it even within, was it the city of Detroit? The city of Detroit to get it there because they were on a time crunch in order to get it.
Now, do you feel that this person does not work with the ground level people? Okay, at these positions, they don't deal with ground level people. They deal with people at mid or higher management levels. We don't have that. Do you feel confident this person can deal with the lowest level of employee?
Basic.
I felt
Basic level.
very comfortable that this person could acquiesce and sees a person, not a level.
Okay, because I have dealt with Air Force base commanders at a lower level, and he had a very hard time with that. Because all he dealt with was captains and majors.
I can speak to this individual. She supervised in one location, 600 employees, I believe it was. She knew,
Oh.
yeah, just the one
yeah,
location.
yeah, yeah.
She knew not only the worker by name,
Mhm.
knew their spouse, their children's names.
Good, that's the kind of.
Could interact with
response I like to hear.
everybody. So yes, she can
Is she best in this community? Does she live here
moving here.
soon?
She has
Yes.
her fiance, they're getting married this fall. His parents live here in the Clear Lake area. And if I said the name, I'm sure quite a few people would know who it is.
Just a quick comment. So we had a couple of really good interviews, which was really nice to see. This individual definitely stood out when it was done and over with. It was a pretty easy decision. And, obviously now with the passing of the transit millage, and we know the importance of this transit, it would be really nice to get someone in there that we really feel can help take the transit to a level where it needs to be. We definitely know that software out there is outdated. There's a lot of things that need to get done there, but we also know too, just because we have a millage, we have to look at everything. We have to keep looking at the data. Do we have too many buses on the road? Because we have to be smart with this money, our taxpayers' money. So I feel very confident that this is going to be a good win for us.
Do we have to, is it gonna be unnecessary that the intermediate interim person stays there and teaches this one how to do it?
No, I would not recommend that.
No.
Good. Very good, because if we got antiquated systems out there, it's for a reason.
I don't, not here to talk for Fran, but I'm pretty sure we're on the same page. That is when she starts, it'll be pretty much immediately the interim director as of right now will be gone. And Fran has been putting a lot of time out there. And I think that first initial week, you're gonna have to put a little extra.
Mhm.
But I think this person has all the skills that, that isn't gonna take much.
Commissioner Mayhew.
Yeah. They have enough money, they can pay her
Yes,
and exist.
yes.
And function as is.
That's, was one of the things that I learned about their budget really quickly is, if the millage passed, they were not over budget in line items. They were very well set. The problem was gonna be if the millage didn't pass.
Can I make one note too? And just one thing that we want to remember too is we had to make some hard decisions at the transit over the last 16 months. Looking at the fact that we knew we were gonna operate without a millage, we cut Saturday service. We did some changes in the hours and all of that was because we went off of data and realized that, yes, we can save some money. So we've made some hard decisions to make sure that that fund balance is still be able to, operate fully, even if the millage wouldn't have passed for a short amount of time. So fiscally, I think we've been, very strong with that.
Someone else entertain a motion?
I will make the motion.
What?
We do a conditional offer of employment to this individual at level 5.
Support.
Level four, we have a motion from Commissioner Serbrook, support from Commissioner Wiltsey. Did you hear it?
But
To offer the position to a transit director coming in at a level 5 due to the experience in the background. Okay, that's a motion. Any questions? comments?
Yeah, level 5, that's a union position.
No, it's year 5, step
Copy.
5,
Year 5.
year 5. I apologize. I just looked at it and the way that it prints out for me is
Based on.
says 5.
Based on the last contract, I mean, level
No,
5.
the director's an at-will employee. It's not a union. It's
I
the
get-
way-
I
the way
get
it
that.
prints out me, I apologize if I said level 5, it's year 5.
I'll amend my motion to say year 5.
Thank you.
Rate.
Okay.
Any other comments, questions? Roll call vote.
Mark Serbrook.
Yes.
Craig Scott.
Yes.
Jenny David.
Yes.
Roger Mayhew.
Yes.
Charles Wiltie.
Yes.
Anything else, Francine?
No, thank you very much.
Can I ask one question here? What was the vote? How did we take the vote on the historic contribution? Did we vote on that?
There was no second.
There was no support.
There was no
Okay,
support.
all right, thank you.
Benefits Department head report. Clerk?
Brett Gildner, your Ogemaw County Clerk. Election. Let's talk election. It was a very fun, busy day. Francine got to see firsthand all throughout the day, all different times of the day, how busy it was. And I tried to get her to stay late with us. We were here till 1:30. She politely declined. But all in all, the election, there were no issues really with any, I mean, there was a couple of small issues with townships, but they called, asked questions, gave them the answers. They did what they needed to be successful, and we got it done. So this election, we had a 28% voter turnout, which is it's about normal for an August election. Early voting, we had 265 voters, so 4% of the total amount of Ogemaw County voters voted here, which I was expecting it to be busy. But we were coming off of the last early voting was the presidential primary year, and that's the busy years. So, I mean, for what it was, 265 isn't bad. We would like more because we do spend a lot of money. That 13,000 of that. That's not all of the cost. But it's pretty expensive to run. And it is actually really convenient, for anybody to come in. It takes 5 minutes. But that'll be available again in November. So, you start, I mean, if you have conversations about the November election at your townships, early voting, 9 days early, we're doing it again. Any registered voter of Ogemaw County can come and vote here. That's it. That's all I got.
Treasurer. Thanks for coming.
Yes, Nicole Cooper, your county treasurer, and the only thing that I have to report is just a friendly reminder that tax foreclosure takes place online on August 15th from 10 to 7 p.m. And there are some pretty great parcels in there.
August
So
15th from when, Julie?
August 19th from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. online only. And then other than that, I just returned today from a 4-day conference. It was informative as it could be. That's all I have.
What's the best thing you learned? Can I ask a question? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Emergency management,
From what county was that?
Kent.
Kent County.
Yes.
What did you learn?
Oh, a whole lot.
Give us the brief.
All of the agencies that they work within, specifically weather, and how they train their fire departments to be spotters. And I learned how expensive tornado sirens cost.
Is she a lady?
No, it's a man. Yeah.
The man.
I had a emergency management thing at one of my conferences and it was amazing, like
Yeah,
eye-opening, insanely eye-opening.
Yeah, with
And it was a lady directed.
the information
That's
that they share with their individuals.
How much
and
is a
how quick-
tornado siren? Just curious.
I think he said about $7,000. So they are not doing any repairs because you can't hear them. He said that there's one outside of their court building. You can't even hear it on the inside. So the way that they're notifying of emergencies is through the phone. Yeah, no, so it was really interesting to see the reporting that they do there too.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
Question from Nicole.
Good.
So did you get a good chance to talk with Karen about how she would use our monies to try to, make as much money throughout the year? And
Mhm.
is there any changes that you're thinking about doing, or are we staying course with where Karen's processes was, or, because Karen made us a lot of money that was
Mhm.
sent.
Yep, so the investments are specifically more so with Michigan class, which I didn't get a chance because I was away at conference. And then Friday ran over a little late being here. So I wasn't able to send in the reports, but if you like, I can email you all what the current investments look like. But Michigan class is used more than anything. At this time, I don't plan on changing the way that the investments are going, because the interest rates right now are the best that they can be. I am playing around with the terms of the CDs though, with a couple of them.
Cool, thank you.
Yep, welcome.
Sheriff, under sheriff reports. Hi. Still department heads on the phone. Matters from the floor, any commissioners?
Yeah, one thing quick. Once again, I was confronted with public saying to me that we decided on doing something at the committee of the whole meeting last time. And I had to explain that no, a motion wasn't made, seconded, voted on, or anything. Just because we come to a consensus at the committee as a whole does not constitute a decision that is made into a firm decision. I would like to have on our agenda, printed on our agenda, a line or two that says this meeting does not constitute, with, except for maybe an exception, just something in there. And then maybe the, commission chair could just say a little disclaimer, maybe for a few meetings or something. We did it for our meeting, for our public comment. The public finally figured it out that we meant that there are rules of public comment. We don't have to say it anymore. But I think there's something should be said because people are walking away from these meetings thinking that we, just because we come to a consensus about something, that it's the law, and it's not.
Primarily roundtable discussion, but unfortunately, there's been a few things missed over the last couple of weeks meetings, so we have had to vote, which can occasionally occur. It's not that we can't vote.
Right,
It's just we typically do not.
Yeah.
exactly. It's our rule, and I go along with that. That's all I got to say about it. That's my
Discussion on
matter.
Well, very, is, we can also remove, I mean, that's all about an agenda, I guess. I don't. Something that we talk about on committee of the whole in a roundtable discussion, you may not necessarily see the following week on a regular scheduled meeting.
Right.
Right.
It can go vice versa. So, motions for adoption, any commissioners?
No.
Commissioner reports, Commissioner Wiltie.
Let's see, LA meeting last week. I think we pretty much have covered a lot of that. We had a lot of conversation there with the sheriff and the undersheriff. We had a budget meeting last Monday. Pretty standard. We're getting close here to our 2027 budget. We talked a lot about the sheriff department and different strategies. But it was well attended, which is very important. Mills Township meeting this past Tuesday. Sad report, the resignation of our former supervisor, Bruce Beach. Bruce did a fantastic job the short time he was there. He worked really hard for Mills Township, very hard for Mills Township. Someone called into the state, and obviously, Bruce didn't know this. The current board didn't know this. No one knew this. But Bruce is the owner of a recreational marijuana facility in Skidway Lake. And the type of license he has, you cannot hold public office of any kind. So sadly, he had to resign. But again, I just want to thank Bruce for his commitment to Mills Township. I know he's going to continue to help just because he cares so much. So they're looking for a new supervisor over there. I just tell everyone that we just need to reload and re-engage and keep moving in the right direction. You guys have heard me say, especially since this new board, a lot of positive progression, a lot of good things happen over there. There's a lot of great people in Mills Township. It's the highest populated township in Ogemaw County. A lot of great things happening. We need to continue for that to happen. So let's see what else we got. EDC Skidway Chamber, they decided they wanted to dissolve. They basically had no membership left. The EDC, which I am now the vice president of, Phil Durst, the president, Penny, the director. We tried to convince them to, let us help them, let us consult with them to see if they could bring it back. They decided not to. Then we asked them if to, instead of dissolving it, could you just resign and give us an opportunity to bring businesses together in Mills Township, since we already have the platform of everything in place? They still didn't want to do that. So they have dissolved, and the EDC, so this will be a report for the EDC now. We will be having a meeting at the end of September for Mills Township businesses. Hopefully we'll get enough support where we can form a board, and we'll help consult to make that chamber grow. And if it's not, people don't want to do it, then there'll no longer be a chamber in Skidway, but the EDC is going to try. A lot of businesses over there. Opioid Settlement Committee, we had right before this meeting. It was a great meeting. We've got a lot of strong members on that. We've really realized right now, and you guys have heard myself and I believe Commissioner Serbrook talk about the importance of housing for people in recovery housing. There's not many recovery housings anywhere in the northeast part of the state. The closest one to here right now is, I'm quite sure, is Midland. We did have the owner of that. He was here today, gave a presentation. So we are definitely going to keep looking at different options for recovery housing. We know there's zoning involved with that, so we'll get with, Ryan Veeder. We also found out an opportunity through Mac, our representative, that right now at the state level last year, there was $70 million left on the table for this opioid problem. And they are doing right now at a state level, basically a matching program. So when we heard that, we all agreed as a board that we want to get aggressive. We typically meet once a month. We're gonna meet in 2 weeks with the main topic basically being on housing recovery and trying to possibly take advantage of this matching program, which could, bring a lot more, money into the picture. That's all I have for tonight.
Commissioner Scott?
I just attended Ogemaw Township meeting the other night. Pretty lengthy without having any major subjects to talk about. Parks and Rec was earlier today. We went over a lot of that stuff. I really don't have a whole lot to report right now.
Commissioner Mayhew?
The only one I had was Rose Township. They were happy with Randy's. They went to and they said they learned a lot. And they were happy with the election. They had no problems.
Commissioner Serbrook?
Attended District Health Department number 2, and I would like to thank the board for giving them a 3% increase in their allocation. Had Wellvance meeting. We're waiting to see what's gonna happen at the state level. The Director Hertel has resigned. The governor has appointed an interim who is just, was the former financial officer for DHHS. So we'll see what happens at the state level. There was some discussion today that they may be changing requirements for mandatory interview timeframes from the time of person calls in. Currently, community mental health agencies have 14 days to make contact and set up a plan. There's a discussion that it may come down to 7 days, which is gonna cause a problem for staff because we are seriously understaffed because of the fact that people just do not want to take and get into that line of business, and the pay is, burnout rate's absolutely crazy for people in the mental health field. Had NIMSCA meeting last Friday. NIMSCA, among other things, most people are familiar with, when they think of NIMSCA, they think of Head Start. Well, they also fund Commission on Aging's across the whole region. They funded Ogemaw County Commission on Aging to the tune of $362,000 and some change. So they see Commission on Agencies quite a bit of their money, not only from the millage that county provides, but as well as from NIMSCA. So it's already been discussed. We had transit interviews, 2 different rounds of transit interviews. Commissioner Wiltsey touched on the budget committee, also opioid and Parks and Rec, which we discussed earlier today. So that concludes my report.
I attended Richland. It was the night before elections, so elections, of course, was a topic of conversation. Library over there was also a pretty big topic of conversation. The village came to Richland Township and wanted them to put a millage on for operations for the library that burnt in the village of Prescott. The plan is to use the insurance monies to rebuild the library. The problem is that Richland Township would like to see the plans for the actual building and to see if they're able to, in some type of strategic plan as far as building it and the cost to maintain it for the operations. And unfortunately, they haven't been satisfied with an actual plan for the building itself. So there was a lot of conversation. A lot of the village was there. A lot of things were discussed. They're not saying no to not putting it on for a millage, but they are saying we need more information before we do move forward with it. There was also an event that occurred the night of the election, the village put on. I believe some of our local first responders, law enforcement were there, firefighters were there, and that sounds like that was pretty well attended. I also attended Hill Township. I already gave you guys an update on that. I really a little bit of feedback on that, but not a lot. Logan Township, I had correspondence with because that was the same night as Hill. SAD, they talked a little bit with Logan, a little bit about roads. Not a whole lot there. I attended a 911 meeting last night. Rhonda is doing an amazing job. She's actually going to upcoming trainings for the director for FOIA and then a 911 center supervisor training as well. We did recently implement ANET and ACT portion, which is a non-emergent triage call transcription just in the first, I think she said this was 8 days. In the 8 days that she's been keeping data on this with this new phone system for non-emergent calls and getting rid of the spam calls, it's decreased non-emergent calls by 40%, which is pretty big. The other topic of conversation over there was cable. There's been some communication with the administrator, 911 over there, questions. The administrator is very good at making sure that communication has been very, very, very good. Transparency's been unreal. I am CC'd on a lot of email, numerous emails. So that's what sparked all this, but she's looking a little deeper into claims, which is fantastic, just like Commissioner Serbic, you did with the fuel and we put out an RFP and look at how much money that saved. But digging a little deeper, I believe her and Tracy working together found that we're paying for 11 cable boxes. So some questions came about, where are these, the cost? It was $180, I believe, per month.
147 for the 11 boxes with addition to whatever the other cable bill was.
Started asking some questions. There were some in the old jails, some that we were not utilizing that we're been continuing paying for. The question, the other question is one that we have been paying for was over at 911. Been some communications there. 911 thought they were, I was at the 911 meeting last night. It was brought up at the board. 911 thought they were actually paying for it. And Rhonda said, hey, we come to find out we are actually not. For the cost of the 2 boxes, it was going to be like $110. They talked about possibly splitting it $55 a piece for these 2 boxes that are left. And Rhonda said, I already talked to my workers. They're not interested. The only thing we use cable for is weather. And they said with the phone and the technology of where we're at, we have all the information we have on our phone. So that was discussed at our roundtable at 911. What was I gonna say? 911. We did claims last night. Again, I'm CC'd on a lot of information. I talked to Francine at least once a day. Simple, and I want to make sure that you guys stay up to speed on everything as well. Leanne from Housing has reached out to me, asked to meet with me. I do plan on doing that. Unfortunately, it has not fit into my schedule yet. She wants to have conversations, so I do plan on having that soon. Also, the other emails was the SSL, so I did request Francine bring that up in her report, because I'm a total beginner when it comes to all this technology, and I don't understand, and sharing something with a neighboring county in understanding these services and how vital they are for operations. And I'm very thankful that now the 4 of you are going to meet and we're going to have a plan moving forward, and this will be put to rest. But I want to make sure no other commissioners had any questions, and that's why I wanted that brought up. So questions, comments? Okay, item 4A, well advanced minutes from July 27, 2026. Them have been received and filed on our notepads. General public comment. After our closed session, will there be any business?
Nope, just come in here for adjournment.
Okay, so typically I announce that before. We do have a closed session. Yeah, public comment. Hi.
Hello, Ken Schnautz, Churchill Township Supervisor. Keep it short. I attended the Ogemaw County Road Commission meeting. Their MTF with his Michigan Transportation Fund check was considerably lower than last year. So I lost my notes. I can't give you how much, but it's about 5-6% below last year. And they are adjusting their budgets going forward for that because it seems to be a steady thing. And some good news though, is they have a project going and they're continuing on with it, that they're going to have three old plows. One's 1942, I think, and 1930s, whatever, that have been stacked up back. They're going to bring them out, they're going to sandblast them, put a primer coat, and they're going to put 3 pads out front. And one will be for Ogemaw Heights High School to decorate. They have a whole system of how to do it. One will be for Whittemore Prescott School System to decorate. And the third will be a patriotic Ogemaw County thing. So they're moving forward with that. They're going to contact Ogemaw Heights to do the construction on the pad, get their building trades involved, and do that construction. And if anyone's interested on what the criteria for the artwork is, they've formalized their procedures on how the artwork's gonna be. It'll be a voted on thing by the schools, and you know, they have everything ready there if anyone's interested in checking it out. But they are going forward with it. They'll be right out on 33. I think it's a great thing. If you buy Roscommon, they have the same thing. So we're gonna be doing that.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Any other general public comment in the room? Any general public comment on the phone? We have motion. I move that the board enter into closed session pursuant to MCL 15.268(1)H. Consider written attorney-client privilege legal opinions from the county attorney dated May 11th, 2026 and August 10th, 2026. And that the court and sheriff's office representatives be invited to attend the closed session. And I move to enter into closed session to pursue to MCL 15.2681C for strategy and negotiation discussions connected with collective bargaining negotiations between Ogemaw County and USW Local 8569.
I'll support.
Roll call vote.
Craig Scott,
Yes.
Jenny David, Roger Mayhew,
Yes.
Charles Wiltie,
Yes.
Mark Serbrook.
Yes.
Quick bathroom break, Chair, and water, quick.
No actions taken after this meeting.
My hip. Just one.
What's up?
Yes.
Baker?
Yes.
Motion to adjourn. Motion to adjourn. We're adjourned, guys. We had some.
All right. Good night, everyone. I won't be here next week.